Hello, everybody. I pressed the wrong buttons. Good morning, Sri Lanka. Let's see if this is working. It's working very well. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying their 2025. Think about that, 2025. Can't believe it. Let's make sure the sound is okay. Okay, everything looks good over there. Let's take a look over here. Good morning. Let's get all set up. Thanks, guys, for joining the chat. Please let me know where you're calling from. Welcome to 2025. All right, just getting all set up here. It's been a busy, crazy, wonderful week. I'm just trying to get myself organized for a couple of things going on this week. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. I want to say thank you for joining me today. Please click the chat, say hi, and let me know where you're from. And if you're interested in asking any questions, that would be great, because you know what? I'm here for you guys. Terry, I am doing well. I've got a plan, and I'm going to share it with you guys today. It is a shocker, but I am preparing for the vacation. So where are we? We are January 5. Oh my gosh, it's already January 5. So next week, it's a busy week because I've got less than 3 weeks to get ready to get out of here. I am off to vacation. So a couple things I got to take care of, personal, and then for the trip. So next week, Friday, I'm meeting Chris, who is a YouTube subscriber. He's traveling to Sri Lanka. And, excuse me. He's traveling to Sri Lanka and is coming to visit me. He's actually staying in Negombo Beach. So I'm going to head over there. We're going to hang out on Friday night, have some cocktails and chat it up and catch up. So I got that, and then the following week I got to start packing and getting ready, and then Friday night of the 24th I got to pack and get on an airplane that night. So here's the big news. Huge news. I am thinking about moving to the south. And I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to make my decision in the next week or two. Probably in the next week, because I got to pack up all my stuff. And I got to find a place, because when I land, what I'm going to do is just head straight to my place, my new place. And I'm going to spend 6 months between March and August when I when I return back to Thailand. And here's the plan. The August plan might involve only Vietnam. So the idea might be, when we go, I'm going to float this idea to Lady Sarah. And there's a couple of reasons behind that, because the cost of exchange rates right now is just crazy. And we have to buy our trip 6 months in advance, especially during the high season, because the ticket prices are just ridiculous. So we have to buy our airplane tickets in May, June, April, like right after we get back from trip. May, April, May, June, July, August. That's only 4 months. So March, April, May, June, July, August. When we get back, we have to buy our tickets. You gotta buy them before the 3 or 4 month break. If you buy them after the fourth month, you're paying more. What happens is a year out, the prices are set for the previous year. And then what happens is at about the 7th month, 6th month, the prices between the 7th month and the 5th or 4th month, in that area, the prices may go down, may go up, depending on how many ticket sales have occurred. And then at the 3 month range, they go back up. They start to go up. If there is no, on average, stereotypical. So I'm not saying for sure, but yeah, it does go up and down. But historically, that's what I have found, and that's what the internet says, and that's what the pricing model says, what I've seen, etc. So we have to decide. Now, we could go someplace new and etc. But it's ridiculously expensive. Even this trip has gone up in price for me. I bought my tickets a long time ago, but I exchanged my money, my cash, recently. I'm going to try to spend as much as I can on credit card because I don't want to spend cash. And cutting back on a few things, cutting back on a few luxuries. Instead of renting a VIP private boat, we're just going to take a public boat and go on a group tour, save a lot of money, because it's, we'll do one, but I'm not going to do 5 like I did last time. Instead of, probably not going to go to a shooting range this time because that's expensive. It's really expensive. But so the idea I have is for August, October. So I have 2 trips in August, September, October. So that's 90 days. It's actually between the 2 days is less than 90 days. And I can get a 6-month visa to Vietnam, multi-entry. But what I'm thinking is we go to Nha Trang, which is on the East Coast. And we spend a week there. And then I stay in Nha Trang for the 2 months, 3 months. And then we meet up in Phu Quoc and then travel back and then I return in October back to Sri Lanka. Sorry guys, can you give me 1 second? I forgot to open the windows. I went outside to water the vegetables and forgot to open the windows. The way the balcony is set up, the windows open out and block the balcony. So I have to close the windows to walk out onto the balcony. So I had to open them again. We got some nice vegetables out there: tomatoes, beans, cucumber, peppers, all sorts of stuff Mom's growing. Anyway, so instead of flying back and then flying out, which is what I'm doing this time, stay for 3 months. It's a lot cheaper. And Vietnam is cheap, like insanely cheap, right? So maybe I will switch from living in Thailand to living in Vietnam. If I can find a place, like some of these places were really, really cheap. And that was only for a week. Can you imagine how much cheaper I could get it if I got it for like 6 months? I could get it for a song. So that's what I'm going to talk to Lady Sarah about when we meet up. Sorry, I just got a message. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, so I need to figure out where I'm going to stay in Sri Lanka. I'd like to stay down south. It is off season, it is rainy season, but I don't care. I need to change it up. It's been 3 years that I've been sitting in this chair, in this house. And now that Dad has somebody taking care of him, I don't really feel the need to be around as much. I'm only a few hours away. I don't want to live on the East Coast. Sorry, on the West Coast here in Colombo, Negombo area. It's just the water, you can't get in the water. I want to be able to get in the water. And I want to be able to have the chance to socialize. My idea is this: I go down south, continue working, I find a place. I'm going to risk it, find a place with no electricity backup. I'm going to try to find a place with electricity backup. And stay for the 5 months or whatever, March, April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. Stay for the 5 months down there. And maybe get a side hustle where I get back into marketing, like being a host at a beach club or something like that. That's something that I could enjoy doing. It would re-energize my social battery per se. I'm getting antsy. I'm getting ants in my pants. And I'm going to be reducing my work hours. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I'm increasing my costs. I'm going to dramatically increase my costs. And I found that if I work in the entertainment industry, I don't spend anything. I don't drink anymore. So that's not going to be an issue. But I mean, if I could get a free meal and maybe get a little money on the side, Sri Lanka doesn't pay that much. So it's not going to be anything. It'll be, for a month's work, it'll probably be not even $50. It'll be nothing. $100 at the most. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. And that's working like maybe almost every day. But if I can get a free meal, free dinner every day, and have some fun at the same time and make a little bit of money, that's a no-brainer. No-brainer whatsoever. Because number one thing is I won't drink. Not at all. There's no way. I'm not going to go down that road. That's that's defeating the purpose of everything I've been trying to accomplish. So yeah, there's that idea. I really hope that that it does work out. Okay, let's take a look at why is this person not answering me? Okay. Sorry, guys, just give me 1 second. I'm just writing a message to someone. All right, so 2025, lots of plans, lots of ideas. Does anyone have any contacts in the rental business, in the accommodation business that you can point me to? And there's just, it's mostly geared to tourists, right? So I don't, Airbnb, hotel, I don't want something like that. It's too expensive. The cheapest one I saw online is about about 275 USD a month. I'd like to go a little bit less than that. I'd like to go at least 150. Now, those pricing are tourist pricing and high season pricing. I'm doing 5 months guaranteed. So you can negotiate at least 50% off, in my opinion. So I'd like to go at least 150 or less, and I pay utilities because I don't use aircon. And in the off season, you don't need aircon. It's not that hot. So that's kind of my idea. Does anybody have any suggestions? Let's take a look. I would prefer Weligama and Mirisa, but people are saying Gal Hikadu. Yeah, Darren, I was actually thinking about asking you to rent out your place, but your place is big and expensive, so I'm not going to do it. And like I said, I want to be in a place that I can socialize. Your area is a little bit, it's beautiful. I mean, you guys got to check out Darren's place. There's a video online on my channel about a tour of his condo. Stunningly beautiful. So I'm thinking about moving down south. Where I can, sit on the beach, enjoy the water, get in the water, socialize, you know, uh, just experience something different than what I've been doing here. It's time for a change. That's the thing. It's time for a change. It's been 3 years here, so I need to focus on something else. So yeah, there are, but there are also tourists. Like you can find your own little niche, and that's the thing. You got to find your own little niche. All right. You got to find your own little pocket of paradise. And that's the thing. I'm going to go, I think the idea, what I will do is I will go down there and get a place for a week. There were Russians everywhere that I went when I went traveling. But there's also, like I said, there's places where you can find your own little thing, where you feel fun, where you feel happy. So I think the best idea is when I come back in March, I go down there for a weekend and I go knocking on doors, looking around. And if I don't like what I see, the next weekend I go someplace else, another park, and I spend 2 days there. And then again, right? So I start in Gaul and then move my way down each city for however long it takes me to find a place, or then compare places, right? So that's what I got to try to figure out. Is that what I'm going to do? How is this going to work out? I got to look at the pricing. I got to look at the feasibility. I got to look at the reliability. I have to have electricity. That's not an issue. That's not a question. I have to have electricity. So that may cost me. I may have to go to a hotel. I may have to do what I did here in Negumbo a few years ago and go to a hotel. And if I can't, then I just have to suck it up and stay here for 6 months, because when I come back in October of 2025, I will stay in jail until February. And the plan is when I go in 2026 back to Thailand or Vietnam. But Vietnam, you can't stay long term. It's a communist country. You can't stay long term. There's no digital nomad visa or something like that. Um, when 2026, when I go to Thailand in February, that will be for a year. I think I have to start planning. So when I go this time, I'll have 3 weeks, and because my contract is ending, a lot of the classes, I don't have a lot of classes on my 3rd week. So I'll have free time to go looking for apartments. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start to get some names and phone numbers of people down there and look at places, not looking online and that those are all inflated prices. If I can go talk to someone and shake their hand and say, look, this is me. I'm here. I want to book your place next year. Here's a deposit. Here's 1 month's deposit, cash. When I land, next year, I want to stay here for a year, 9 months, 6 months, or whatever it is. I got to figure out the visas. Visas are not a big deal. I just have to figure out which is the cheapest visa and the easiest one for me to do as a tourist. I'm not going to do a permanent. This is not going to be a permanent thing. This will be, let's see how long can I live there before I find my forever home. But that's still over. That's a year away. So I have lots of time to think about it. I have lots of time to plan, but it's a plan for 2026, because at that time I will have enough funds to live. I think I'm at the point where I'm not done with Sri Lanka, but I need a new adventure. So, we'll figure it out. James Pullen. Itaewon Samuel. I haven't been called that in a long time. Let me guess. Are you from Korea? Because I haven't been called Itaewon Sammy in 3 or 4 years. All right, so James, welcome to the show. Thank you for asking. I'm so happy that you're coming to my homeland. Any tips on what? What kind of tips are you looking at? Now, you have to remember, I'm not a tourist. I'm a resident, so I don't do a lot of the touristy things. So my advice would be to join a Facebook group of travelers. I am not the best to give tourism advice. Nagumbo, I'm assuming you're just staying here for 1 or 2 nights after you land. Perfect. Definitely go to the local restaurants and eat the local food. Sudip, my brother. Yeah, he is a great guy. What a great man. I miss him so much. What a great guy. Always had the best time with him. But when you say tips, travel tips, accommodation tips, tourism tips, I can give you a general overview, right? If you have a specific place that you want me to say, what is this place like, or what should I do? Then ask me that kind of a question. I might be able to help, but general tips I can't really do. James, I have no idea. I don't date in Sri Lanka. I don't date. I have my lady friend in Korea who I meet up with, and that's enough for me. Nilangsha, thank you, brother. Good to see you. I am looking for my, I don't want to say forever home, but the place where I'm going to build my retirement around. You know, I always have the fallback of Sri Lanka. I should, you know, I'll always have Sri Lanka to come back to. I always have a home here. But I need to start a new adventure. Is that going to be Bali? Is that going to be Malaysia? Is that going to be Vietnam? Is that going to be Thailand? Where can I go where I'll be happy, where I don't have to spend a ridiculous amount of money to be happy, where I can stay long term? Am I going to stay long term, or am I going to do 3 months in different countries? Right? Is that a good plan? Who knows? Right? So I need to review that. Yeah, I need to look at these places. I need to go there. I need to sample it. I need to physically get in there. Doing it online is just not, it's not working. James, 99% of Sri Lankan people are honest, just like they are everywhere around the world, Vietnamese, Thai, whatever. But, I'm going to say but, even in Korea. By the way, you're in Korea? I see it's snowing there today. Well, it's 29 degrees and sunny here today in Colombo. In Negumbo. I'm in Negumbo. I probably, let me see my calendar. If you land on the 22nd, which is a Wednesday, it's gonna be tight, because you land on the Wednesday night, I leave on the Friday night. So if we were to meet up, it would probably, because I have to pack on the Thursday night, and I'm working right up until like 6 p.m. on Friday night, and I have 4 hours to pack. But getting back to your question, just like anywhere in the world, okay? Anywhere you go in the world, be it Thailand, be it New York City, be it anywhere in the world, where there is a large group of tourists gathering, it always attracts a large group of people who are out to take you for your money. So just like you do anywhere you travel, you get in a taxi, make sure you negotiate the price before you get in to a tuk-tuk. Download apps, Grab, Uber. Okay, they work here in Sri Lanka. Grab and Pick Me. No, not Grab. Sorry, Grab doesn't work here. Pick Me and Uber. They work here in Sri Lanka. You do that, you're safe, and you're using your credit card. You're not using cash. Okay. Number two, if you pick a tuk-tuk, negotiate the price before you get in, or ask for the meter. Some of them have meters, some of them do not. Okay. For example, if you get into a tuk-tuk as a tourist, they're going to ask you, are you interested in a suit? Are you interested in souvenirs? Politely say no. Okay, somebody's going to come up to you on the street and talk to you, say, thank you so much, I'm fine, thank you, and walk away. I'm a local, so nobody really bothers me. There's lots of beggars. I would be careful with the beggars. They target you because you're a tourist, because they know you have money. I'm not saying don't give money, but you know, they make a lot. If you're really interested, donate your money to a charitable organization here in Sri Lanka, or donate to me. I have a charity that I vet the people that we give support too. Okay, you can click the link down below, buy me a coconut. You can support me that way, or when you come, we can meet up or what have you if you want to donate to our charity. All of the money I make from YouTube, all of the money I get from supporters buying me coconuts, etc., goes straight to our charity, and I match it dollar for dollar. So just a few months ago, we spent $400 rebuilding someone's house and supporting them. Okay, I have a video out on that. You guys can see that. Nilakshan, I wanted to ask you as well if you know anyone in the southern areas between Gaul and past Miris, Tangala, out the southern coast. I don't really want to be in Gaul. Gaul is too big of a city. I'd like a more remote place, a village, right? But close enough that I'm 10 minutes by scooter to anywhere I want to go. That's what I'm looking for. So if you know any place, or if you have a suggestion as to a town, right? Then let me know. James, I am going to recommend as well, if you're flying from Korea, let me know. Are you flying from Korea? And then back to Korea? And which airline are you flying on? I will suggest to you to book an airport service called Silk Route. Okay? There are a lot of videos on my channel about Silk Route. This is an airport service, not an airline service. So you book the you book the Ruby package. It's arrival and departure with a lounge if you're not flying business class. If you're flying business class, then take the Amethyst package. It's $100 US. And what happens is when you land, someone is at the door of the airplane with your name, and they walk you through the airport. They take you to a private immigration. You get stamped. Private immigration. They take you to the lounge. They take you through duty free, but I always suggest go to the lounge first, then come back to duty free. Go to the lounge, drop off your carry-on bags. They give you give them your baggage tags, and then they go find your bags. So while you're in the lounge, you get served some tea and some light snack, or you can go up to the duty free. Then customs will come to the lounge and check your bags. And then you exit through a private exit. No having to stand in line, no having to deal with baggage, no having to do any of that. It's all private and comfortable. After a long trip, especially coming from Korea, it's 9 hours or longer with a layover. You just want to relax. Leaving Sri Lanka, you go to a private terminal. There's nobody. You don't have to line up in security. You don't have to do anything. Security is taken care of there. Immigration is taken care of there. And you're walked the back way to the lounge. All done comfortably and at your own pace. It is, again, check my Silk Route videos. It is worth its weight in gold, $100 to do this. Landing and taking off. Departure and arrival in Sri Lanka. Yes, I realize that. I was just thinking, like, if you knew anyone, if I'm reaching out to everybody. I'm networking, right? So, my family lives here on the West Coast. I don't have family that lives on the South Coast. They don't really know. I've asked, and they've like, well, it's this and that. They all give me the hotel contacts, and I don't want a hotel. I want a small room in someone's house would be best, where I can pay them to make me food, where I can pay them to clean my room. Basically, I want to live like I'm living right now in my parents' house at someone else's house, right? I'm not a party guy. I'm working all the time. So I need someone to cook me food, clean my house, do my laundry, right? Just like I have here. But I just want to be someplace else where when I'm free, I can go out and do whatever I want. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. So James, click this link, check it out. It's definitely the way to go. When you're traveling, okay, I would recommend booking a car. Don't take the train. It's uncomfortable. It's crowded. I personally don't like it. It's okay if you can get a first class ticket. Getting a first class ticket, now there's an adventure, okay? Because they're really hard to get. Bring socks, long pants, and a spring jacket. Candy and Ella are cold at night. And when I mean cold, I don't mean minus. I mean, it gets down to like 20 degrees, but because of the moisture in the air, it feels cold. Now, I've been living here a long time, well, 3 years, and anything below 26 degrees for me is cold here on the coast. When I was up in Ella, I was freezing. I had a hoodie, I had gloves, like little gloves, because my nose was cold. I wore pants and socks, double layer socks. I was cold, and blankets. It was not an adventure. Let me tell you, I did not like it. But that's just me, okay? And it's not cold like I'm saying minus degree weather cold. It's cold, it's a wet cold. So you don't feel comfortable. So bring like a light jacket, bring a hoodie, like a sweater, bring thick socks and shoes. I don't own a pair of socks because I don't own a pair of shoes. All I have is slippers, right? I have shoes, I just don't wear them. I have a few pairs of socks, I never wear them. Mirza, you're gonna love it. Weligama, you're gonna love it. They're not right next to each other. Make sure you visit. If you have a chance, go to Hikkaduwa and tour the Tsunami Museum. It is eye-opening. If you're here for the food, don't eat at your hotel. Get out and eat at a local restaurant. A tourist restaurant, yeah. And here's the funny thing. You'll see this place and it'll say hotel. That's what they call restaurants here. Okay, that's what they call restaurants. Street food, I would kind of stay away from it because it's for locals and the local stomach. It's not bad, it's just your stomach would not be used to the food. Do not drink the water. And even when you brush your teeth, use Listerine afterwards. Don't swallow. like rinse your mouth out with bottled water or with Listerine. Definitely Listerine after you brush your teeth. You just want to avoid, diarrhea. I'm used to it because I live here. I've lived here for 3 years. My stomach is now used to it. When I first got here, your stomach takes a little while to get used to it. Definitely use spices in all of your food because that kills everything, right? That kills everything. Candy, go to Temple of the Tooth. And tip for candy, if you go to the Temple of the Tooth, wear a nice thick pair of socks because you have to take your shoes off. There's no rocks or anything. It's more comfortable to wear a comfortable pair of socks. And go around to the back of the Temple of the Tooth and ask for a tour guide. You'll pay like a few thousand rupees, like 10 bucks, 20 bucks for this guy. Give him a tip and he'll take you around. You'll bypass all the lines. You'll get right to the front, and it's definitely worth it to be taken around. Okay. And you get a history story. It's beautiful. The Temple of the Tooth is beautiful. Have high tea at the Queen's Hotel, which is right across from the Temple of the Tooth. Take a trip up into one of the Overlook hotels. So you can get a day pass at one of the Overlook hotels that looks down into Kandy. Beautiful, beautiful, just stunningly beautiful. Ella, I only spent one day there. It's not that big of a deal. The 9-arch bridge, oh, look, a bridge. You know, for me, it's not that big of a deal. Go see some waterfalls. Those are much more interesting. Go to a tea plantation. Now, you have to figure out what day you're going because they don't work every day, and you have to go early in the morning. Mira said, go. You're coming this month. Whale watching. Go see some whales. Expensive. It's no guarantee. But go whale watching if you're at this time of year in Miras. Go snorkeling, scuba diving. Go surfing. And number one thing, James, eat the food. Eat the food, brother. Let me tell you. Fresh seafood goes a long way. Stay away from beef. It's not the same that we're used to in Korea or America or the West. I haven't eaten beef here in years because it's just not, unless you go to a hotel. But it's frozen, imported Australian beef. Local beef is not beef. You can have beef curry, right? You can have beef curry. It's not the same. It's delicious. It's just not the same. You do not get steak here. It's just not the same. Nilakshan. Yeah, trust me on this. When I went and I started eating the food here, when I first got here, it was spicy. Now, I lived in Korea, which also uses heavy spice, and I've always been able to handle spice. But even today, if I eat local spice, the levels of spice that the locals eat, I'm pouring sweat. And definitely waterfalls are stunning, especially now. Is it now? No, it's the end of the wet. Well, no, it's the beginning of the dry season. We're in the middle of the dry season. So the waterfalls may not be as big, but I don't know. Again, I'm not a tourist. Yeah, so like there is no such thing as a steak here of local beef. I've tried so many times. I've gone straight to butchers and got them to cut the beef. And I've said, I want a Western cut. The crap I got delivered to me was just awful. I mean, you try to marinate and season it, and it's fibery. It's tough. There's no marbling. The fat cannot render. It's very fibrous. They don't cut it properly. Because here, the Sri Lankans don't eat beef. And those that do, stew it or curry it so that it softens it up. Now that you can do. Pork, yeah, pork is great here. Pork curry, pork ribs, amazing. Pork. Chicken, 100%. I would do chicken curry till the day I die. And that's the thing, because it's curried and marinated, so it softens it up, right? And when you get a curry, right, the whiter it is, the less spicy it is. The darker it is, the more potential it has to be spicier, because they haven't put milk or cream into it. When it becomes very, very brown, like coffee made brown, they put a lot of cream to thicken it. When you look at a brown gravy and you take the brown gravy and you pour it, you can see the redness in it. That means it's spicy. Now my mouth is watering just talking about food. So James, I don't know if you're still on, but let me know. Send me a message on my email. Maybe we can meet up. Okay, brother? Yeah, so what else? You know, I don't know what I'm going to do for 2025. I'm up in the air about whether I will take the 5 months off. How am I going to do that? What is that going to look like? Will I get one place for 5 months, or should I just jump around? Jumping around is not easy. Don't know what to do. But for now, I'm going to take a short trip. Yeah, I'm still up in the air about what I want. I'm going to see. I'm going to play it by ear, and when I get back, I'll just go. I won't pre-plan it. I will pre-plan it, but I'm not going to make any deals over the phone, over the internet. I'm going to go there. I'm going to get a place for a week so that I have some place to put my stuff. And then I'm going to go around to all the places that I found on the internet. And I'm going to find myself a local tuk-tuk driver who I like. And I'm going to say, listen, take me around to all of the buddies that you know that have places. Or let's go knock on some doors. Okay? Drive down this street and let's knock on that door. Do you know anybody who's renting an apartment? Do you know anybody has a homestay? I don't mind homestays. That again is probably the best. I don't need a 3-bedroom. I need one bed, one toilet and a shower, and a space to put my desk. Okay? I need space for a desk. And I need an electrical outlet. I would prefer on a second floor with a balcony. I don't care about the view. 10 minutes walking or 10 minutes by scooter. I prefer 10 minutes walking. Then I don't have to rent a scooter. Then I can just hire a tuk-tuk when I need it. Hiring a tuk-tuk 2 times a week, because I'm only going to go out like once a week, twice a week. If I'm doing homestay, I just give the money to the homeowner to go out and buy the stuff I need. Right? A little fridge in my room for bottled water and the little food snacks that I have. I pay my landlord for food. That would be the perfect thing. I pay my landlord for food, laundry, and cleaning. The only expense I have is hiring a tuk-tuk when I go out for the weekend or something like that. And again, I don't drink. And I don't eat expensive foods. I don't need to. I just eat local rice and curry. And I think my landlord will love me because I don't eat rice. I eat like this much rice, 2 tablespoons of rice. Okay? Because Sri Lankans eat a plate full of rice. I eat more vegetables. You know, I will ask for beans and potatoes and dal lentils, um, pour on the vegetables, and fish. Whatever fish you want to make, whatever chicken. Once a week chicken, everyday fish. That's what they eat. You know. Um, you know, brother, let me tell you. I don't think I remember the last time I cleaned my own place. I will have to say it has been, okay, when I lived in Toronto after my divorce, I had a maid. When I came to Korea, I had a maid. Now that I live in Sri Lanka, I have my mom. Now I do clean a little, but not. I don't clean the house. I clean my bathroom once a week. Clean the bathroom. I sweep the floor. But then, you know, the man will come and mop. My bedroom. I don't clean the house. Mom has a man comes in once every month to like deep clean, like dusting and wiping everything down from top to bottom. The fans, the air conditioner, the windows, like, you know, scrubbing the bathroom. Because we have heavy water or soft water. I can't remember, but it leaves that lime residue. So let me think back. When we lived in Toronto, before my divorce, I think we had a maid. We definitely had a maid when I lived in Milton. Definitely had a maid when I had my 3-bedroom house. We had a maid service. When I lived in the condo, I don't remember whether we had a maid. We were only there a year. So I'm going to say since 2007, maybe even 2005, I haven't cleaned a house. So in 20 years, I've never cleaned a house. Absolutely not. I pay someone to do it. Even when I'm on vacation, I pay a maid. When I was in Philippines for 6 months, my cook would clean as well. So, you know what? It's not about trust. What do you mean trust in like thievery or trust in level of cleanliness? And you know what? The level of cleanliness, I've never had an issue. I need someone to clean my toilet, wipe my sink, wipe my kitchen, dust, vacuum, and mop. It's not rocket science. The windows and crap, that does once a year. I mean, when I was staying for the last time I stayed in Thailand, I had them come clean once a month. Once a week. And they were cleaning the windows. And I said, no, you don't have to clean the windows. Don't do it. Just clean this part. And they were like, okay. But that was the company that was like in the condo, cleaning the condos every day, right? Because it was a condo hotel. So they were like the maid service. So they were doing the same thing that they were doing at their other units. And say, I'm staying here, so just don't bother cleaning the windows. It's not important. Yeah, well, here's the thing. You know, when I was living in Canada, it was a company. So they're bonded and insured. Okay. When I was living in Philippines or Thailand or whatever, it's somebody I trusted who was coming back every single day, every single week, the same person who I knew. So I've never had an issue. When I was in Korea, I had the same maid for 8 years. And when she left, she gave me somebody else. This is the same woman. And when I left, I gave all my stuff to her. I said, here's the kitchen. Take whatever you want. She took everything. I came back home and there was nothing left. She even took something that I didn't know. And I was like, oh shit, she took that. I didn't care. Because I was going to give it away anyway. Sorry, just a second, guys. one of my students asking about schedule. So I just need to. All right. Listen, let me tell you something, brother. Think of it this way. If you're hiring someone to come in and do something for you on a regular basis, it doesn't make sense that they risk that. Sorry, guys, it's one of my students asking me about schedule, so I need to just hop on this message right away. Sorry, guys, I apologize for this. There's a huge screw up in the schedule. I hate it when dealing with a middleman. They don't speak good English, so it's constantly like this Friday, next Thursday. When I said, listen, the 10th or the 15th, yes or no. 6th. 10th, no class. The 13th. 10 a.m. Yeah, that's when dealing with parents. It's very confusing. 17th, 10 a.m. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, you know, I look at it this way. When you're dealing with a company, they're insured, like in the West. All right, so when I was in Philippines, I mean, the woman I found was a friend's wife, so there's no issue there. Yeah, I mean, don't make it tempting. Don't leave your cash lying around. Don't leave your jewelry lying. They're not going to pick up a phone and walk out with your phone. They're not going to pick up your TV and walk out with your TV. You know. Yeah, exactly. It's just that I'm oh gosh. I am lazy, and because of my work, I don't have time to do the cleaning, and I prefer my exercise to be a little bit more fun. I don't like cleaning. I prefer not to clean because I don't do a good job. I don't. I get lazy at it. I enjoy organizing. That's what I enjoy. I really love organizing. You give me, like, I'll clean my computer desk and I will take everything apart, put it all back together again. I love it. That gets me excited when I plan on doing that once every 3 months or whatever, when I do a deep cleaning of my computer. You know, taking apart the fans and everything like that, and making sure the vents and everything are clear and clean, and then, you know, sanitizing everything. Um, I love that. Reorganizing my cables and everything, making sure everything is, you know, running properly. None of the electronics are fraying or failing. I love that. So I have a couple of hours free. So what am I going to do today? I am going to rest, play a game, play a video game. And I have like 2 hours of classes this evening, and then let's see here. Yeah, I'm just waiting on, like, you know, so I have students who are booked in my schedule, and then they have plans, right? So the mom will sometimes contact me directly, and then my manager, the middleman, will follow up with me and says, "Mom is just confirming." Now she is confirming something completely different than what the mom confirmed with me, which is what just happened here. And then my manager, who doesn't speak English all that well, Korean, is saying this, that, and I'm like, I'm confused as to what you're talking about. Here, January 6th, January 10th, yes or no? All right. Thank you. Confirmed. Um, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that my schedule is open so that I can book other students. Because I hired somebody on. I hired someone on one of these freelance websites, I can't, Upwork or whatever it was, to uh, to take my Google Calendar and put it into an Excel spreadsheet. So what happens is this Excel spreadsheet has the date across the top and the times on the bottom, and then a black spot where my schedule is booked for either private or personal function, for business or personal. I didn't want people looking at my calendar and seeing my personal information, right? And I didn't want to create another calendar. I tried to create something and do it myself, but I couldn't. It's too much work because I already have like 2 calendars. So, I have to take it from my online calendar and put it onto my personal calendar because the company I work for, the parents will go online and then book on the company calendar. So I have to take that information and put it onto my personal calendar because I deal with more than one company. So I constantly have to be updating my managers as to when is my free time. So it was getting too confusing. So I said, listen, I'm going to put everything into my personal calendar. I told the freelancer, I want my personal calendar information extracted automatically to a Google sheet that I can share with anybody at any time. They can't edit it. They can only view. And then as the month goes, it disappears. And it progresses for 6 months. Right? So people can see my schedule for 6 months out. And that's what I do. So I need to make sure that those times are free and open so that my clients who use my Google Calendar, they don't use an online calendar. They use my Google Calendar, can see that I am free for to be able to book me. And that my personal things are private, right? So I don't want them seeing that I'm going out and doing this and doing that. I don't need that information out there. So my calendar needs to be updated, which is what I'm doing right now. Updating my calendar to make sure that the information is correct and that people can book me. The more money I make, the better, right? Let's see what's going on. All right. So what else is going on with you guys? Any other questions? Yes, I speak Korean. Although my Korean level has dropped because I don't speak it as much, right? It's been 3 years since I stopped speaking Korean, and it's been 5 or 6 years since I've reduced my Korean because during lockdown, I never went outside. I never spoke Korean because I don't speak Korean to my students. I speak Korean in my private life when I'm shopping, when I'm traveling, when I'm not traveling, when I'm commuting. So yeah, that is my Korean has basically gone from level 5, which is native level, to probably level 3 or 2, beginner intermediate, because I haven't been practicing. In my life, I've spoken 10 languages. I currently speak fluently 3: English, French, and Sinhala. Well, Sinhala, I would say I'm semi-fluent. It's getting better. I've spoken Korean, Mandarin, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, and I'm learning Thai. A little Japanese. I'm beginner. The amount of Japanese I speak is like this. It's been 10 years since I spoke Japanese. It's been that long since I've been to Japan. But with any language that I have learned, I believe that if I went back to Japan and I sat around there for a couple months, it would all come back to me. If I went to Italy, it would all come back to me. If I went to Portugal or Spain, it would all come back to me after a short time. So, yeah. And you know what? The thing is with me is that I have a skill at learning languages because I learned so many as a child, right? I was exposed to multiple languages in a short period of time. My brain developed this skill that learning languages was normal, that it was an everyday thing that everybody did. Like at that age, you don't understand that learning a language is hard and difficult. Your brain develops the skill based on the need. Okay? Like our brains and bodies evolve based on our situation, where we live, and the external influences. If you live in the mountains, you develop strong legs and strong lungs. If you live by the ocean, blah, blah, blah. If you live in a place where the food is spicy, blah, 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 etc., etc. Your body evolves to its natural surrounding. So I developed the skill. By the age of 6, I was speaking 4 languages fluently. I spoke Mandarin fluent. I'm not talking baby talk. I'm talking natural, native, fluent language. And this is the reason why I speak languages so well, or I find it so easy, is I didn't learn from a book. I learned from natural hearing. By the age of 2 or 3, I'm speaking Mandarin because it's all I hear every day. I'm speaking Sinhala because that's all I hear every day. English, not as much. I didn't speak English until I was 6 years old, which is why I speak English with a Canadian accent. I don't speak like my mother or my father. My mother speaks with a British accent. Would you like some water with that on your tomato? She speaks like that. My father speaks with an Indian accent, okay? A Sri Lankan accent, an Indo accent. I don't speak like that. My brother doesn't speak any, he barely speaks, he doesn't speak any other language because he never learned. He's 2.25 years younger than me. So he missed out on China. He missed out on Italy. And when we came to Canada, he spoke English and he never learned Sinhala because by the time we left China, we had stopped speaking Sinhala. My father was a diplomat, so we lived in the embassy. So the embassy staff spoke Sinhala and the local staff spoke Mandarin. Italy, same thing. The embassy staff spoke Italian, Sinhala, Italian. That's what I heard every day because the TV's on in Italian. Mom and dad even picked up some Italian. And when we moved to Toronto, we lived in an Italian neighborhood. Then when I moved to Bradford, I lived in a Portuguese neighborhood. And I spent a summer in Portugal. And I picked up the language very quickly. And then Portuguese translates to Spanish very easily. And when I went to the Caribbean, I learned Spanish very quickly because I go to the Caribbean every year, 2-3 times a year. And then living in Korea, I picked up the language within the first 3 months. And I picked up my Sinhala within the first couple of weeks. It started coming back to me. And, you know, it's learning languages is all about exposure to the language. You know, if you came to Sri Lanka and you lived here for a year, you'd be speaking Sinhala. Yeah, it's a skill like anything else, like sports. It's a skill. French is easy. Arabic is hard. Arabic, Japanese, and Korean and Mandarin and Chinese are the 4 hardest languages to learn in the world because of the vocabulary. Korean still befuddles me with the vocabulary, grammar. It's backwards. They don't say I love you. They say you love I. You I love. You love I. The subject is at the end. It's very strange grammar. In the beginning, it gets you confused. Yeah. Gosh, I'm hungry. I gotta wrap this up soon so that I can get something to eat. I didn't have time to get some food and my coffee. I need to get my coffee. Okay, so it is not coming on Friday. And then I have to put into my alarm clock. All right. Yeah, next week is nice. I don't have to, except for Monday, I don't have to wake up. Like Tuesday, I wake up at 6:30 a.m. local time. Wednesday, I don't have to wake up till 10:30. Thursday, 7:30, and then Friday, 5:30. Monday, I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, local time, because I work on Korean time, right? So the time zone difference is 3.5 hours. So when I have an 8 a.m. class in Korea, that's 4:30 a.m. here. I have had times where I've had 6 or 7 a.m. classes, and that's 3:30 in the morning that I have to wake up. I've done it, you know. But on the flip side, when I finish at 7 p.m. Korean time, it's 3:30 in Sri Lanka, which means I can go out. And that's the beautiful thing. So say, for example, I'm in Thailand, which is 2 hours behind. If I finish my class at like say 6 or 7 or 8 p.m. It means it's 6 p.m. Thailand time. I can still go out and have a nice dinner at a restaurant. Now, when I live in Thailand, or if I live in Thailand, I won't cook. I'll have breakfast in the house, which would be like eggs and toast. Lunch would be fruit that I bought the night before, fresh cut fruit put in the fridge. And then dinner, I would go out to a restaurant because it's so cheap. Like $4 or $5 US can get you an amazing meal. $1 or $2 can get you a basic rice and vegetable with a little bit of protein dinner. Now, I don't eat carbs anymore, right? So I could save up that extra rice and make like an egg fried rice in the morning, stir fried rice or something like that, or for lunch. Now, the other thing is that I fast. I only eat 1 or 2 meals a day. So my food expenditure is really low. But on occasion, I will go out and eat like a steak and scallops because I enjoy it. I mean, there's no reason to not live life. Don't learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Don't sacrifice to the point where you're not enjoying your life. So that's the reason why I want to live close to a beach, is because I want to be able to get up during my free time. Like, let's say, for example, on Friday, I have free time between 8:30 and 11:30. I have 3 hours, which means I can walk to the ocean and go jump in the ocean for a couple hours. It gives me peace of mind. I used to do that in Philippines. I live 300 meters from the ocean. I have a couple hours. I would go out and just walk the beach and jump in the ocean and sit in the water for. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Guys, we're coming up on 90 minutes. Thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate it for you guys who are supporting the channel. I see you're on the channel. I see you guys on the channel. It says that there's 6 people watching. Why don't you say hi? Please let me know where you're calling from, where you're watching from. Ask me any questions. Let's have a good chat. I am just super excited for my vacation. I am gonna do I'm gonna start packing in 2 weeks. I'm flying out in 3 weeks, so I'm gonna start packing in 2 weeks because most of the stuff I don't use. Like, for example, my beach stuff, my swimwear, that is all going into the luggage, or going to be organized. I'm going to use the spare bedroom, and I'm going to put the luggage on the bed and start, organizing things, toiletries, camera equipment. Probably, I will have to do a test with my computer to see which cables I need to bring. There's a certain amount of cables I need to bring, and I need to organize that. So what I will probably do I'm going to do a PC test a couple of days before, so that in the event I need to, no, I should do that on the weekend. Yeah, I should do that on the weekend. Yeah, I'll do that in 2 weeks. So that'll give me time that if I need to get extra cables, or if I doubt I need, it's operating now. Right? I just need an adapter. Oh, Darren, what a mess. Well, first of all, it's snowing, which doesn't help. It's snowing in Korea. Second of all, the political situation is just insane. I cannot believe the price of the Korean exchange rate to the US dollar. It's coming down, but not by much. It's 1468 to the US dollar. It was 1480. A couple months ago, it was 1200. I lost so much money on my exchange. Now, what the hell is going on in Australia with your exchange rate? Why is that happening? Your exchange rate is killing you, must be, exchanging to US dollars. Wow, brother, let me tell you. I saw that and I was like, Squid Game 2. I am 50-50. And the reason I'm 50-50 on Squid Game 2, no spoiler, is because season 3 is coming up very, very soon. I loved season 2. I mean, it wasn't season 1. I love season 2. Try to guess before episode 7 what's going on. What is the twist? It took me a while to figure out. Yeah, I mean, Canadian is down. Everything is down. But here's the beautiful thing. The Vietnam Dong and Thai Baht are up. I am making money. So the money I lose converting from Korean won to US dollar, I'm getting back when I sell in Thailand. Right? So I'm not going to bulk sell. I budgeted exactly how much I think I need. And I'm doing just that amount, a little bit less. And then if I need more, then I don't have to do, because in Thailand, when you go, the more you exchange, the better rate you get. Okay, if you just exchange $100, they're not going to give you a good deal. But if you exchange $1,000 or $2,000, they give you a better deal, right? So that's what I like to do. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, brother. Let me tell you. Trump is threatening tariffs, and then what's his name in Ontario? Your premier in Ontario, Ford, is threatening to cut off electricity. I mean, come on, tariffs don't work. We all know it, and tariffs won't affect the Canadian exports. It'll affect, well, it will, because people will buy less. But if it's a essential service, they'll have to buy it. I've always had this thing that's like, oh, we should protest the price of gas and not buy gas on the first Wednesday of the month. It's not like you're not going to use gas that month. You're just not going to buy it on that day. You're still going to buy gas. So a gas protest does nothing. I'm going to hold my breath, okay, until you cave into my demands. Okay. Those protests never made sense. It was just, it's like today's version of Facebook. Click on this like and send a prayer, or if every person who clicks this, Mr. Beast will send $5. It's bullshit. How do people still believe that these things? Every person who clicks this like is entered into a draw to win a free Lamborghini from Lamborghini to celebrate their 85th year. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. Yeah, the Vietnam Dong, the Thai Baht are up. Even the Sri Lankan rupee is up. It was down and it's now up 293. I have US dollars sitting in Sri Lanka. I think I'm going to, on Monday, I'm going to look at some trending factors and I'm going to sell my US dollars because I spend Sri Lankan rupees here. Whether I spend it today or tomorrow, if when you have Forex, you take advantage of it. So I think I think that I will do that. Also, the stock market. Wow. Huge pullback on Friday. The stock market lost like 2%, but it was all profit taking. But I mean, one of my shares is up 85% in 3 months, 85% rise. And it's a dividend stock. It's not a pump. It's not a Bitcoin. It's a banking stock. It has fundamentals. Everything in the stock market was undervalued. And I bought in the dip. And 2 weeks later, the dip bottomed out and it went on a 26-day run. And other than one tiny dip a few weeks ago where there was some profit taking, yesterday was the first loss the market felt in 26 days. And it was and it recovered towards the end of the day. It still lost, but it was all profit taking, people taking profit. But the stocks turned around and started to recover. I'm not worried. My stocks are purely buy and hold 18 months. They're all dividend stocks. Darren, I'm gonna, on vacation, I'm gonna read your prospectus. And when I get back in March, you and I are going to have a voice call or video call, and we're gonna sit and talk about your project. I am very interested, and I'll have some funds in March, quite a bit, sitting in South Korea. So we're gonna need to figure out how to get it to you, the best way that I can get the most of it to you. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. I got your email, your prospectus. So I'm gonna read it over on vacation when I have time to sit down and dissect it. Sitting in an airport, I have focus. I get distracted sitting here because things pop up on my computer and I get distracted. So I can't focus. So when I look at something like that, I have to focus on it. I have to study it. So that's what I'll do. Sitting on a beach, sipping on a coconut. I will review that and do my due diligence. You know what? Talking about scams and stuff like that. On Facebook, something popped up on my screen. Click this link to buy lost luggage from Colombo Airport. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, So I clicked the link, I looked at it and I said, this doesn't make sense. Because I contacted Colombo Airport 2 years ago to ask what they did with the lost luggage. Do they sell it like other airports do, right? To get rid of it. And they said, no, they don't do that. That it's stored, and after a certain amount of time, they didn't explain to me what they did with it. They probably donate it or whatever. But they don't sell it. Either because of some law, they never explained it. So I copied the link and I emailed the Colombo Airport. I emailed the CEO, the head of legal, and the head of marketing. Almost not even 20 or 30 minutes later, I got an email back saying that this was a scam, that they don't do it, and that they are sending it to the relevant legal authority and posting on Facebook and on their page. And then I saw in the news, the Sri Lankan news posted that this was a fraud and a scam, not to do it. And then, there's these WhatsApp scams going around, come and work for us. All you have to do is respond to emails and you'll make money. It's money laundering. I've talked about that before. And the other scam that I saw recently, I forget. Oh, Derek, congratulations, brother. That's excellent. That's excellent. Congratulations. You're coming back in March, I thought you said. So let me know, because we got to hang out a little bit. I'd like to see probably a little bit more about this business. Darren has a business. You guys I have a video coming out about opportunities in Sri Lanka. That's coming out next week. And Darren is taking advantage of that. He's got a great project here involved solar energy or energy. Perfect. March 10th to 20th. Let me put that in my calendar. I arrive March 2nd. In the calendar it goes. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you. I hope you and Janet are having a great new year. Happy New Year to you and your family. All right. I've met Darren twice now here in Sri Lanka. One of my top supporters. Lots of love to you, brother. Thank you so much. Let's see here. What else is going on? Yeah, the interest rate on term deposits is falling. Right now, it's not looking attractive. Where are we here? Fixed deposits. The best you can get is 2 years, 8.9%. Stock market is giving me 30%. Gold is giving me 25%. So I think I have to reevaluate. I was getting 14 and 17%, which are good. Okay. But at 8 or 9%, so 8.9%, the interest is paid monthly, which is a good thing. Guaranteed 9% every month. That's pretty good. 6 months at 8%, paid out at the end. That's also good, short term. Maybe 8.9 is not bad. 8.9 for 3 years. Paid monthly. Yeah, I think 8.9 for 2 years paid monthly. I think that's okay to diversify. Not a huge amount, not a huge amount, but enough to diversify for like guaranteed income. Right? I think that might be good. But I think I can make more. If I can make more in the stock market, why wouldn't I? In the short term, right? If I can double that, if I can go from 9% to 18%, why wouldn't I? And that's what I got to figure out is if I can make relatively safely, I'm not talking crypto, I'm talking real assets that pay dividends, okay? Where the market, even if it reacts, even if the market crashes, I have a stop loss, I can get out, right? Every time I put a purchase in, I have a stop loss, which stops me at 15%, right? So if the stock drops below 15%, I have a stop loss. I'll get out. I'm at over 30% on all of my stocks. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm bullish on the market, brother. Let me tell you. Um, the market, the average ASI all stock index is doing 45%. I mean, the market has gone from 12,000 to 16,000. There are targets for the price of the stocks. The brokerage houses have put target prices on all of the shares that I have, and I still haven't even reached. My banking stock is set to go to 120%. I'm at 80 right now. So, and they pay dividends. So that's the thing I'm waiting for the dividends. So I'm buying gold. I'm going to buy more gold. That's without a given. I'm buying gold. It's a buy and hold for the long term. Whether it's 5 years, 2 years, or whatever, gold is liquid, and gold is something that I can buy and sell like that. Stocks, you can't really sell them if no one's buying them. And you're right. Term deposit at 8.8, even at 8%, is a guarantee. Okay? It's just that for 2025, I need to be on the riskier side of the investment curve for 2025. 2026, I'll be on the conservative side. But I need to build up a little bit of more capital and take advantage of this bullish market. So I'm buying gold, and I'm probably going to buy some more shares. Yeah, everywhere, you just gotta get out at the right time. That's the thing. See, all of this stock market stuff is all paper. Okay, it's all on paper. It's not realized. So, I'm using an AI tool, stock AI tool, to give me advice, not stock advice, but how the market works, like to explain it to me. So I asked it a question. I said, here, it knows my portfolio, and this application can access my portfolio and the market and research and everything like that. So I asked it a question like stop loss, not stop loss, profit taking. And they said, based on your current risk, goal, so it knows my goals and what I want. And it said, and the stocks I bought, it said don't. It says don't, because you purchased the stocks at a time for your dividend. If you sell and buy again, even at a small commission, so it knows the commission, says you'll make money. Even after the first week, you'll make your money back on the commission. You'll lose on the dividend. I said, yeah, I didn't think about the dividend. Because the dividend is based on the day you bought the stock and the amount of stocks amount of shares you have. You can buy 1 million shares, but if you bought them the day before the dividend, you're going to get this much money. This is based on time and amount. So the longer you hold the stock, the bigger your dividend amount to the obviously the maximum, which is 1 year. So after a year, you can take your profit, etc. So wait for the year, take your profit, and then go back into the dividend, because then it resets to the year. That's why after a company pays its dividend, people take the profit and then the stock drops. So that's where my head is going, is that I'm going to go on the riskier side. I'm going to invest in some dividend stocks that I have been suggested by my broker, what their brokerage house is recommending. I'm not using AI to give me investment advice. I'm asking AI to explain how the market works, like a function of the market. And it didn't dawn on me that I shouldn't sell to take the profit, because I'll lose out on the dividend. I'll make more money on the dividend than I will on the taking the profit or locking in the profit. So I'm not asking for this share or that share. What should I buy or where? I'm asking, can you analyze? I'm asking it for research data. What is the What is the market saying is the target price for this share? That's public information. I'm not asking it which stock to buy. I would never do that. I look at markets. I look at the recommendation of my brokerage house, which is the largest firm in Sri Lanka, which is, I mean, you have to trust somebody, right? And then I do my own research and look at where do I feel the riskiest investment is, and stay away from that. Obviously, where's the best investment? But who knows what could happen? The sky could fall tomorrow. But the trick is to figure out which one is the best investment for your risk, and then figure out when is the best time to get out, and then never second guess yourself. Correct. You are correct, Darren. It is momentum driven, but there is something to be said about the underlying fundamentals of the company. Okay, a company has fundamentals. It has profit. Otherwise, the stock market is just pure gambling at a casino. I might as well go to the casino. There is some factors that you can rely on. So I tend to look at the positivity and pick the positivity of it. And again, your opinion, right? I have to put my trust in someone that I feel is the most trustworthy. They have a duty to themselves and their company first, because they make money off of people buying, right? They make money off of money. Now, they do their work. Their work is based on math, right? So a company has this many fundamentals. They're projected to have this many sales. We predict that their stock will reach this level. I mean, that's not religion. Those are facts that we can base information on. We have to have information. Just like you have your information, I could say to you, oh, that's, never trust, because tomorrow it could be that. We have to all start from an underlying foundation of information. So the broker that I have dealt with is the one that I find has returned the best return from their advice. So I worked at a company that developed an algorithm that tracked the buys and sells of each sell side analyst and how they perform. Right? So is their advice good or bad? So this is and I'm not again, Nvidia and Tesla are outliers. I will never buy Nvidia, I will never buy Tesla. I will never buy anything that everybody else is buying. Everybody's buying Bitcoin, everybody's buying Tesla, everybody's buying Nvidia. I will never do that. I will short Tesla and Nvidia before I ever buy it. Okay? You always do the opposite of, you never follow the sheep. Okay? So, but I need to base my decision on fundamentals. Okay? Otherwise, I should just throw my money out the window. What else should we do? You're telling me what we shouldn't do. Why don't you tell me what we should do? Okay? What we should do is do our own research, figure it out, take the advice of everybody who we trust, look at the market, and then use all the information that you have to figure out what is the best for your risk. And that's what I kind of figured out. That's a good, safe investment strategy. That's a safe, and see that there's where the risk is. You're young, you have a longer time to recoup any losses or take advantage of, or to recover from any dips in the market. You're looking at the long term. I need to look at a more short-term return. I need to take advantage of momentum, and I'm looking at 1 year returns. If I can do 20, 30% on 1 year returns, but then diversify in some of the less risky things. I don't want to do mutual funds. I want to do ETFs, but ETFs are not a thing here in Sri Lanka, just like gold. I wish I could do ETFs. Once I get my magic number that is paying me my monthly pension, okay? Then the extra money is where I will start to play for fun. I will go into day trading. That looks to me like something fun that I could do. Because it's money that I'm willing to lose. True. You never know. Nobody knows. And the market fluctuates greatly in the short. That's why your plan for the long term is the safest one. I'm more risk adverse. I'm willing to risk short term. True. Look at what happened in 2007. Right? Everybody lost everything, even mutual funds. But again, what can we do? Don't tell me what we can't do. Tell me what we can do. Yeah, look at that, and if you happen to take like 10% and put it into a little more riskier, that might be something you might think about. True. I understand your point. I have one term deposit that is a 2-year term deposit at 17.9%. That comes due end of 2025. So I still have money making me money at a high interest rate. And I'm diversified enough that I'm, 30% in savings, 40% in the stock market, and 30% in 40, 50, 60, 70, 30% in gold. So the money that's coming due next month, I will probably put back into the term deposit. The money I'm making for March, I will spread out over maybe your investment, but 20%, 30% I'll buy gold, 40% I'm going to buy stock, and 30% I'm going to look at investing with you. Not going to put it back into term deposits. I want to take a little bit of what I have and go take a risk for 2025. End of 2025, I'm getting out of the market. And going into safer. Yeah, see, you have Western applications. In Sri Lanka, I'm limited. I'm limited in what I can do. Ratio way out, what does that mean? Ratio way out. Let me look that up. Evaluate similarities or differences between two numbers by dividing them. That's an interesting idea. Simplify the simplified ratio is the final. Applied to stocks. This is something I gotta, irregular ratio. Is that a spelling mistake? I disagree. Gold is something that I am putting my money in as a safety net. Gold is something that I can sell immediately. Gold is something see again, it's about your risk, right? It's personal. It's not stereo. I'm not trying to stereotype or follow the trend. What I'm doing is, in my opinion, I feel that this is where my money is the safest, right? For the midterm. Gold is a midterm buy. So 2-3 years, okay? Regardless of what happens in the economy in the next few years, in the US, in China, in Sri Lanka, in 3 years, gold will still be there, okay? Still be there. I'm taking advantage of the upswing in the market, and my ratio is reflecting that. And I still have a safety net of term deposits, okay? Where that if I lose everything in the midterm, in the short-term stock market, I still have long-term savings that I can rely on. And then I have midterm security in gold. That's where I'm looking at. Banks are long-term. Gold is midterm, stock market is short-term. So I've put my percentages heavy on the short-term because I need short-term results. Yeah, true. I saw a news story about how in, I think it was 1950, 1970, or the 2000, they were predicting what would happen in 2025. They were saying that we'd be mining asteroids and everything like that. See, the thing is that they will only mine an asteroid if the price of gold is worth the mining. So they're not going to go to mine it if the price of gold crashes. And you can mine gold, you don't have to sell it. Here's the thing. Why are diamonds so expensive? Well, De Beers controls a huge amount of the gold, of the diamond mining. So they'll mine diamonds, but they don't release the diamonds into the market. So it's a supply and demand. Here's another example. Alberta in Canada has more oil than anywhere in the world. The problem is it's in the sand. So the cost to remove the oil from the sand is very expensive. Gold has to be at a certain price for them to for them to sell it. King Rick's brother, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh my God, I miss you so much. Everyone, this is my brother, Tim. He is the best guy you could ever know. Thank you so much for joining. I miss you, brother. He's living in Cebu, Philippines. I've known him for, I think, 8 years. We met in Korea. He's an American. He's a rapper, a producer, an actor. He's acted in movies with Ma Dong-seok in Korea. He was a rapper. My gosh, he's done everything. And he's lived in Korea like 25 years off and on. And he and I hung out with him in the Philippines for 6 months. I lived with him. And I lived with him in Philippines. So if you guys want to see the videos on the Philippines, click the playlist and watch the playlist of my Philippines, Sam in Supig. And then he moved to Cebu with his fiance. He's getting married. If you guys want to go to the wedding in April. Brother, I don't think I can make it, but I will be coming either in end of 2025, definitely in 2026. Sarah and I will come in 2026. He knows Lady Sarah. He's met her a few times. He and I live together. Tim and I have lived together how many times? We lived together in Korea. We lived together in the Philippines. We were roommates in the Philippines. And, I'm going to come back and visit you when you have a baby. Don't do it, brother. Don't do it. But he's found himself an amazing woman to take care of him, and it's great. Yeah, oil. So what happened in Alberta was when oil went up years ago. It was like 10 years ago. The price of oil was so high that it made sense for the oil sands to extract more of the oil sands, right? They could process it and make money because the process cost eats into the profit. But when the profit was high, it made sense. So then they started hiring people. They couldn't get enough people to come and work in the fields. So they started raising the pay rate like $50 to $100 an hour. So people who were working in town quit their jobs and went out and started working in the oil fields. No experience required. It's pure labor. And what did they do? Because they're undereducated, they started buying things on lease or on loan. And then when the market crashed, they couldn't afford their payments anymore, and that caused the recession. That was a problem. Yeah, we should talk offline, brother. Yeah, it's been I keep forgetting how long it's been since I left Korea. In February, next month, will be 3 years since I left Korea. Yeah, and it's all, De Beers created the market. A diamond is forever. They create, diamonds were never used as engagement rings until De Beers started their marketing campaign. Brother, I'm looking forward to seeing you again. I definitely, it's just getting out to the Philippines for me is a lot of money. And with the current exchange rate, I got to be a little bit more frugal in my travel expenses. So when I do come out to the Philippines, when I do come out to Cebu, let's say February 2026. So a year from now, I want to stay for 6 months. Okay. Maybe October 2025, when I leave Vietnam, I'll come to Cebu. Maybe I'll do that. That's a great idea. Instead of coming back to Sri Lanka, I should go and stay with you for the winter. Not with you, but, and this is what I need from you, brothers. I need you to find me a place. Okay, we're going to talk offline. We're going to talk offline in the next couple of months. When I get back in March, this is a good idea. I should stay in the Philippines for 6 months because I can get a visa and just keep extending it. And then from the Philippines in February, I can go to Thailand for 6 months and then come back to the Philippines for 6 months. Instead of flying all the way from Sri Lanka to the Philippines, I can just use Bangkok as my home base or Vietnam as my home base. I'll be in Vietnam. From Vietnam to the Philippines, it's a couple of hours. See, I don't think about these things. I should think about these things. Yeah, no kids, brother. There's, I think she's got cousins, right? Nieces and nephews. You can be the good uncle, right? And that was really cool. I saw the pictures and you bought everybody iPhones. That was really cool. I love that. Yeah, I know it is. I just need to, me. You know my style, okay? We've lived together long enough. You know my style. You know I'm very particular about what I want, okay? Oh, that's right, her sisters. I remember meeting her sisters. I really, was Rose her sister or her cousin? I liked Rose. She was a little crazy. She was cute with just a touch of crazy. I like that crazy. Give Maricel a big hug for me. If she's there, tell her to say that I say hi and I miss her. And I'm so glad you guys are together. I always said to you, brother, when I first met her, that she's a keeper. I told you that she's a keeper. I told you that. Yeah, Rose was her cousin. I remember. I liked Rose. Rose was a sweetheart. She just had that, just enough crazy that I liked. I like that. But But I'm so happy to hear from you. I follow you. You're on, like, when you post, it pops up, right? I do that notification. Only you and a few other people. Let me tell you, brother, it is pouring snow in Korea right now. Yeah, we'll talk later. Like, we'll talk in March, okay? We'll talk in March, and I know where you live. Are you still living in the same place in Cebu, the same house? Because I have it marked on my maps of where your house is. I would prefer to live in a small town like we did in Philippines, like we did in Subic. Okay. I don't know. Like, should I live in a beach town or should I live in the city? You know, I'm still going to continue working, so I'm going to need reliable internet and reliable electricity, because I don't tell my clients that I'm living overseas. They don't care, and they don't need to know. Oh, you're going to be moving. Okay. Where do you plan on moving to? Outside of Cebu or just still Cebu? Because I'd like to try out Bohol. But again, I need that reliability. I think for the short term is like a city type of thing where I can continue working. It's true. You can walk to everything. You don't need that extra expense, and you can just do a jeepney to wherever you need to go if you need to go to the beach. And that's the thing. You see, it's going to be like Philippines all over. It's going to be like Subic all over again. I'm going to be working. I'm not going to have time to go out. On the weekends, I can go out and hang out, you know. But I'm not. The one thing I didn't like about Subic was that all the guys wanted to drink and party. I don't want to do that. I want to find maybe, someone to hang out with. Not a wife, not a girlfriend, but just someone to hang out with that I can, let's go for dinner. Let's go to the beach. Let's do this. Yeah. And that's why I think about this. You know me better than any other human. Maybe Sarah knows me a little bit better, but you know what I like. Okay? We've lived together long enough, you know what I like. So knowing what I like and knowing that I gotta work, which is what I did in Subic. So imagine Subic for 2026. And then 2027, 2028, I can start to get out of the city type of thing. Because by then, 2028, I'm 60 years old. That's my golden retirement. That's when I'm going to stop working. I'll have enough money to do whatever I want by then. We're talking 4 years from now. When I came to Cebu, you remember when I landed in Subic, a week later I'm in Cebu, but I only stayed at a hotel. I trust your advice because, again, like I said, you know me. You know how I like to live. You know the lifestyle I like. You know my work schedule. You know my social preferences. And you know my entertainment, like the lifestyle I like, the beach life, the ocean, the entertainment I like, the food I like. You know me about that. So when you tell me things like this, I listen because, like I said, you know me. So I don't know Cebu as well as you do. Obviously, you've lived there for, 3 years? 2 years? So my plan will be, if I come in 2025, my plan will be to find a Subic style place. Okay? Close enough that I can take a jeepney or rent a scooter. Okay? If I can walk, bonus, but has to have electricity, has to have good internet, it has to be clean and everything like that. Get myself a cook and a maid, which is easy to do. And close enough to be, I mean, somewhat close to you so we can hang out, right? I can rent a taxi or hire a taxi and I'm 15 minutes away from you. If I can be walking distance to you, even better. I would like that. Well, one of the best things about Tim is that he's always there for you, and he's fully retired. So, he doesn't have to work. He's got his government pension and military pension. So he's set for life. And I'm happy for you, brother. But we will talk some more offline. That I didn't even think about that, because I love the Philippines so much. The food, oh my God! All I'm thinking about is Nina's cooking. I was just talking to her a couple of days ago on Facebook, and I think Nina and her husband, I forget his name. I think they opened up a bed and breakfast on the beach. I saw some pictures or something like that. But I'm still connected to those guys, Troy and all the other guys. Mark. And who is our prez after you left? The big guy, Daniel. I still see his posts once in a while. Troy, I should delete. I never got along with him. I didn't like him. He's a bit of a weird guy. But I mean, they were all nice guys. It's just they weren't my cup of tea. And yeah, I mean, your wife is Filipino, so of course, I mean, it makes sense. And see, that's the trick. If you can connect with a local and get that local discount, right? Tim never goes and buys anything. He sends his fiance to go buy it because she gets the local price. He pays for it. I mean, she works. She's a nurse. I don't know if she's working right now, but she did back when they were dating. And she's a smart girl. She's very smart, very independent. But if you can get that local price and that where the local shop, that's the trick, right? So that's why I said I'd like to find someone who can take care of me. Can help me out. Not a girlfriend, but maybe a good friend who I can date, right? That's something I would like. Oh, Mark just posted on a live stream on Facebook. Him and Nina are at some. See, he doesn't put any details like location. It looks like a beautiful beach. My God, the water's amazing. He just posted just now on Facebook. It popped up. Anyway, and then the old guy. I can't remember his name either. I'm so bad with names. He posted a live, and he was talking about meeting up with some of his friends. That guy, man, he was a character. I loved him. He was so kind, but guppy. He got effed around a lot. So he was what's the right word to use? He was set in his ways. He was very set in his ways. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I really need to wrap up today because I am starving. And I gotta take care of some work stuff. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone. King Ricks, let me tell you, brother, I miss those times back in Korea. Itaewon has not changed, and that town will never change. It took a little while to recover, but I was talking with Matthias, right, and he was saying it's still not pre-COVID, but it's back to where it was when it started to gentrify, just after the Americans left, after the military left. You remember that little phase where everything started gentrifying and then more Koreans were coming in? That's what it's like now, he says. He says it's like all these new Koreans are coming in, like young kids who don't remember the crowd crush, who don't know anything, and just want to get away from, school and their families and stuff. But yeah, those were the days when we used to run that town, brother. Let me tell you, those were the days. Anyways, I want to say thank you to everybody who has joined me for this 2.5-hour live stream. Thank you so much. You guys are adding to my view time. That really helps my view time. And this video will go out afterwards. And I see people watching it after the fact, which is really cool. I really love that. So lots and lots of love. Lots and lots of love to you guys. Yeah, VVIP at the best clubs in Cebu for $200. I don't drink anymore, brother, but we can definitely have some fun. That's the thing. You know, and again, you know me. I'm not going to stand in a club. I'm going to sit down. The girls are going to come and drink, and they're going to have a fun time. And you and I are going to be king and Joker. We're going to have fun. All right. We're going to have fun. So. Hey, let me show you something before I go. I got this made in Sri Lanka. I remade my jacket. I ordered this on AliExpress. All of this, and I got it sewed here in Sri Lanka. I got it sewed up here in Sri Lanka. So you got to get me a one of your nomad patches or support patches. But we'll talk about that when I come to Cebu. Yeah, I mean, drinking at our age is just, it's not that much fun anymore. It hurts. I mean, I don't mind having one, just one, right? But to drink the way these kids drink, forget about it. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. One drink and I'm happy. I'm back. My alcohol tolerance level has gotten so down that one drink and I'm good. And that's what I want to do with you. I want to sit around and just talk, and having people come over and drink with us. That was why we did what we did when we were in Korea. Is meeting new people. It was way too much. You and I are very alike in that. We love to socialize. We love to be the center of attention. So that's easy to do with a little bit of cash in the Philippines, right? That was always happy to do that. So we'll get you out to the club. We'll sit down and just chill for the whole night. Have some little tapas and have a little bit of a drink, just a tiny little drink. We'll sip. That's the thing. We'll sip. I think your drink was whiskey and my drink is tequila. So we'll sip a little tequila, sip a little whiskey, a little gin and juice, sort of say, and just chill out. Definitely earplugs. Okay, definitely earplugs, because there's no way I could handle that loud music. But yeah, though I am 100. We're still connected on Instagram and Kakao. So let me hit you up. Let me go get something to eat. Let me hit you up. Let me send you some information, just because it's in my head right now. Oh, champagne. Champagne, brother. I just finished off a bottle of Moet for New Year's Eve by myself. And I have another bottle I'm taking with me to Thailand. Sarah doesn't drink, but I'm going to drink that bottle. The problem with champagne is that it's got way too much sugar. You take a mouthful of champagne, you got to drink like half a bottle of water. It's way too much sugar. Or you got to drink the expensive stuff, like the Moet. Got to drink that. Moet is my favorite. Dom Perignon is my luxury. Is my go-to luxury. And here's the funny thing: they're both owned by the same company. They're the same company. I mean, they're not. They were bought out in merger and acquisition. But I want to. I'm going to do a little bit of research right after we finish this and after I have breakfast. I'm going to go online and I'm going to look at flights. I'm going to look at a few Airbnbs and just get a budget in my head because I know what food costs. I know what I paid Nina for food and for a maid, right? So I know what food costs are. I know what internet costs are. I still have my budget documents from when we lived in Supik. It's probably a little bit more expensive in Cebu, but my luxury requirements are less because I'm just sitting in a room all day. It doesn't have to be luxurious. It doesn't have to have a view. It just needs to be clean and quiet and electricity and internet. And if I can get to the beach, that's all I want. No more of this Itaewon. You remember our place. That was a luxury place. No more of that. I don't need a view. Okay? I need a little bit of sunlight in my room. I don't want to sit in a cave. So as long as I have windows, I don't care where I'm looking at. And quiet, not near a street. Let's talk, okay, brother? All right. Thanks again, guys. Lots of love to you all. Happy New Year 2025. King Ricks, give the fiance a big hug and hello for me. Nilakshan, please stay warm and safe till we see you. Darren, always love you, brother. Please take care of yourself and your family for 2025. I want to thank James Pullen for joining, a new friend from, I'm assuming, Korea, because he called me Itaewon Sammy. So, and he is friends with Sudip. Tim, you might remember Sudip, the Indian guy that worked at Samsung, the big Indian guy that never drank, that worked at Samsung. He told him to check me out. So James is coming to Sri Lanka, but he's coming a few days before I leave for Thailand. So I don't know if I can hook up with him. Terry, always a pleasure to see you, brother. Darren, you be good. Nilakshan, again, always, brother. Stay warm in the snowstorm. I'm seeing my friends in Canada posting pictures of a huge snowstorm. Stay safe and well. We will see you all on the other side. Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. Remember, guys, learn to live life. Don't let life live you. I am out.